The guest house lobby had been engulfed by silence. Alright, everybody, welcome back to some more Umineko when they cry. Now let's recap last part really quickly here. And, we recap last part at the end of last part, but we'll do it again. So, uh, Beato uh, arrived at George. Heard George's wish that to meet up with Shannon one more time. He said he'd sacrifice everything for it, and Beato came by and was like, "Alright, I'll grant your wish, because maybe she's had a change of heart after talking to me and Virgilia after that little lesson we gave her. So maybe she's took George with her. Alright, has him flying. She's taught her she's taught him how to fly. God damn it! And they've flown over to the mansion right now to meet up with Sharon. So let's see how that goes. Now, Eva Berta seems to have noticed their presence, but they didn't fully take too much mind to it, considering none of her furniture noticed either. So she probably thought it was part of her imagination and kept it going. Besides, George is not one of her targets. I mean, yes, what Beato's doing is relevant to her, but George is not one of her targets. So yeah, I mean, her targets are currently Cross and Nazi. Those are the last two she needs to finish off the 7th and 8th Twilight and finish off this ritual that Beato started, I guess. I wouldn't say created, but I don't know if Beato created this ritual or a previous Beato created this ritual or someone else entirely created this ritual. But I'll definitely say she started it for this time around. So yeah, let's see where it goes. It's currently about 6 p.m. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they haven't said anything about the Eva, Battler, George, and Nanjo group getting food with them to back home here. So, as long as that's true, these guys haven't eaten since breakfast. They're probably extremely hungry. They're probably starving, and they're probably very tired as well. Because especially Cross and Natsu haven't slept. And Eva. Well, Eva's rested a bit because of her fever. She still has a fever, but she has rested a bit. Cross and Nazi have not slept last night and all morning. They're still awake. They're probably extremely sleepy and tired, and they're expecting to stay awake for another 12 plus hours, which is crazy. Um, if I was them, my body would shut down right about now and forcibly sleep. But hey, I'm glad they're able to hold up. Alright, let's keep going. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Eva Beato manages to get her kill smoothly. Or I don't know if Beato will interfere or not. We'll see. We'll see if Eva Beato decides to play around with their bodies, which she has said she wanted to do. Let's see if Beato decides to interfere. The strange of tension which bound Cross, Nut, and Eva had already loosened. They were completely tired, and their consciousness was beginning to waver. Exactly. Like, I feel like after this many hours, my body would just force shut down and sleep. I don't know what to say. Every once in a while, they would stand up and walk around pointlessly, fighting their drowsiness. Yeah, that is a good way to fight. Yeah, if you're extremely tired, you just have to just walk around for a bit. Just try to get, you know, consciousness back. So that your body doesn't force shut down and sleep. But it's rough out there.
大丈夫ですか、エヴァさん。やはり無理をせず休んでいてください。
Please do take it easy and rest. Again, Nazi showing signs of care to Eva.
大丈夫だって言ってるわ。もう大人は私たち3人しかいないのよ。
Hey, Nanjo's an adult. I keep telling y'all, Nanjo's an adult, but they don't listen.
休んでる暇なんかないわ。
There's no time to rest.
石にかじりついてでもここを死守するわよ。
I'll guard this place even if I have to go through hell and high water. She spoke a brave line, but she couldn't hide her rough breathing. It seemed that the fever, which had been calmed with medicine for a time, had returned. It was very obvious that Eva's condition was not good.
無理はするな。せめて目を閉じていたまえ。
At least close your eyes.
もし起こさねばならぬ時は必ず起こしてやるから。
If you have to wake you, we definitely will.
だ から平気だって言ってるわ。放っておいて。
I told you I'm fine, leave me alone! It seemed that she had now become stubborn. Cross and Nazi realized that no matter what else they said to her, in her current state it wouldn't reach her ears. So they decided to say nothing more and let her be. To Eva right now, even an argument like that was putting a burden on her. It would probably be better for her if she just sat there with her mouth closed. As a matter of fact, Eva was already on the point of succumbing to her drowsiness. She might have talked back with a temper because she was trying to encourage herself and throw off her sleepiness. The clock would very soon be pointing to 6 in the afternoon. Because she had been snacking over and over again to fool her drowsiness, she didn't feel hungry. How has she been snacking? Or I guess they have snacks but not proper food? Because I thought they didn't, or did they grab food when they went? Because they never mentioned anything about them grabbing food when they went. But instead, her lack of sleep made it feel like it was 6 in the morning rather than the afternoon. Fair enough. Even supposing that the boat would come at precisely 9 in the morning tomorrow, there was still more than 12 full hours to go. There's freaking 15 full hours to go. 15! Y'all are already this tired fighting off your sleep and you're supposed to stay awake for another 15 hours. You're not gonna make it. Your body's not gonna handle that. Your body's not gonna make it, yo. At least us kids, us cousins, we slept through the night. Okay? Me, Jessica, and George, we slept. And so did Nanjo. We slept. Alright? We are well rested. Well, relatively well rested, okay? We can survive tonight. Maybe. A bit. For the most part, okay? Because we've rested tonight. You guys haven't rested the previous night. You'll struggle. That was a dizzyingly long stretch of time. Insanely long. Long. Painful. Hot. Okay. Rephrase it, please. Come on. Rephrase that. Come on. You could have kept that long and painful. Why did you add the hot in there? Pause. Visual novel. Pause. Rephrase, please. Even the sound of the clock torments my body now. God damn, please. Pause. In times like this, he would put his hand. Oh my god! Yo! Chill! He put his hand on my forehead and the fever would always fade at once. But he isn't here anymore. And as Eva's mind grew foggy, she was once again gripped by a deep sadness. She had already cried herself dry. Even so, the sadness from losing her beloved husband had not been exhausted.
私は間違っていたんだわ。
I was wrong.
どうして？
Okay, Berto's talking to Eva. Originally, the new witch had been the same being as Eva. If Eva talked to her, she would always respond.
私は後宮家の当主の座さえ得られれば、それで満足のはずだった。それがあの黄金の山を見た途端に欲が増えたの。あの黄金の山を独り占めしたい気持ちに駆られた。
I was struck with a desire to have that mountain of gold all to myself. Yeah, and that's why this freaking trash garbage witch exists.
それは恥じることでもなんでもないわ。だって後宮家の当主として当然の権利じゃない。他の誰にも黄金の一かけらだって譲るものかってのよ。私がその誘惑にとらわれたからあなたが生まれてしまったんだわ。
Exactly. That's what I said. Like, that is why she exists. It's because of you. Your temptation.
あなたは私の少女時代の心であると同時に自分勝手でしかない私のよこしまな心でもあった。
You are also my self-centered evil heart.
そのあなたがあの黄金の山によって芽生えた私の愚かな欲望のせいで
私の胸という卵の殻を破り、この世に生まれ出てしまった。あなたを産んだのは私の責任。
なら私が殺したローザとマリアも、そしてルドルフとキリエと秀吉もあなたの責任ってことになるわ。
That's crazy. She's shifting. She's making Eva sound like she did it, even though she did it. That's crazy. Is that her way of just avoiding blame?
どうしてうちの人まで殺したのよ。
Yeah, you promised her you wouldn't kill her husband. That's crazy.
どうして？
You promised her you wouldn't kill her husband, or you just wouldn't touch her family. So just don't touch George. He's currently in the process of meeting up with Shannon. Don't kill George. Like, at least have the heart not to make your own self this sad.
秀吉を殺す気はなかったわ。だってうるさくてしつこかったんだもの。その意味では私たちの、いえ、あなたの責任ね。あんなのを旦那に選んだあなたの責任だわ。
It's your fault for choosing a husband like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. After what Hideyoshi's done this episode, I've said this before, Hideyoshi's been a goat this episode. After what Hideyoshi's done this episode, the fact that you say that is a crazy insult. A crazy insult, okay? I'm just saying, that's nuts.
あなたみたいな子供にあの人の良さはわからないわよ。
Eva, I understand how good he was. Hideyoshi was such a good man. Unironically, that guy was awesome.
あなた。
Understandable cry here. I mean, whew, that guy was a great husband, not gonna lie.
何よ。私たちは魔法で夢を叶えたのよ。
Like personally for me, I don't want any husbands, right? That's not for me, right? I don't vibe that side. You know, I vibe with the side of wanting a wife. But, if you force me, bro, Hideyoshi, what a goat. What a husband right there. Oh yeah, and I'm sorry, Kirie, but Rudolph will not make a good husband. I'm sorry, and I'm at least he's not for me. He's not for me. Okay, he's not for me. I'm good off that. But Hideyoshi though, nuts, not cross. Nah, Hideyoshi's the best. Hideyoshi's the best. Hideyoshi's great. Okay, our dreams were made real with magic, right?
気分の謎を解いたわ。そして黄金を見つけ、当主の指輪を手にしたわ。すべての夢を叶えきったわ。それがなんで不満なの？
What more could you want? I don't know. My husband? What more could she want? Her husband? What? That's crazy, bro.
それだけが全ての夢なんかじゃないわ。あの人と素敵な人生を歩んで、ジョージに素晴らしい人生を託す。妻として、母として。私にはまだ叶えなければならない夢がたくさんあるのよ。
Okay, you're asking for a lot actually, Eva. So you're asking, you want live a wonderful life with Hideyoshi, entrust George with an excellent life, become the family head, get the head's ring, get the inheritance, and get all of the gold? At some point in time you wish for all of that or something? That's crazy. I mean, I can understand why Eva Beth was born after all of that greed in a way.
それなのに、それなのに。
それはあなたが大人になってから勝手に増やした夢だわ。私たちの夢じゃない。
だからあなたは子供なのよ。自分さえ良ければいいの？そうよ。すべて私が悪いのよ。
Eva, if you found a way to kill your own self, younger self, then we're good. Because it seems like Beato is gonna improve. So, if she becomes a proper witch, then maybe we don't need to do any more of these dumb freaking rituals. I don't really know why these rituals even exist though.
あの時、ローザの言うことにどうして私は反抗したの？どうして兄弟みんなに黄金を見つけたと発表できなかったの？
could announce to all the siblings that I'd found the gold. You still can! You still got 2 siblings remaining. Right? Just tell Cross. At this point, you know what I mean. Even if you split it up 50-50 with Cross, you're getting... Nah, you get more than... Come on. Cross is not that wild. He'll split it up with you. He'll give you most of it. I'm sure of it. Cross is not that crazy. He'll give you most of it. Although you still want the head chip, don't you? That's crazy. You can still reveal it now. You're not dead yet. They're not dead yet. But they're going to die soon.
全て私が醜いから黄金を独り占めしたくて芽生えさせた横島な心があなたを孵化させてしまった。
ひどい嫌われようだわ。
Yeah, and that's why you deserve that much hate. It's because you don't see why that you deserve it. It's the same as Beato, you know. Well, I mean, now it seems like she's improving. But, just like her, it's because you don't see what's wrong with it, that you suck.
私たちは2人で後ろ宮エヴァなのに。
いいえ、もう違うわ。そしてそれはあなたが言ったのよ。私は後ろ宮エヴァ。そしてあなたは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェよ。だからもう消えて。魔女なんておとぎ話の中にしか存在できない妄想よ、幻想よ。あなたなんか消えてしまえ。二度と私の前に現れないで。
ああ、そう。わかったわ。あなたの前から消えてあげるわ。そして私はもう後ろ宮エヴァじゃない。これからは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェよ。もう好き勝手に遊んでやるんだから。あんたなんて知らないわ。
So you're gonna kill George?
ヘスでも噛んで勝手に死んじゃえば。
Don't kill George. She's not caring about her, which means she might kill George now. After having a fittingly childlike tantrum, the witch who had once been another Eva vanished. Only Eva was left behind in the darkness. She questioned herself.
私なの。私があの人を殺してしまったの。私が殺してしまったの。
Now that question was one she herself would never answer. It seemed that half asleep she had gotten some saliva caught in her windpipe just as she was dozing off. Eva suddenly started coughing.
大丈夫かエヴァ。夏希、水を頼む。
Nazi, some water, please.
はい。
大丈夫だってば。
Eva, you have not been alright for a while now.
ちょっとむせちゃっただけなんだから。
Eva pushed away Nazi's hand as she tried to rub her back, and unsteadily rose to her feet. Hey, she's trying to help you! Nazi's been so caring of Eva this episode, it's unprecedented. And you push her back? Come on.
顔を洗ってくるわ。ごめんなさいね。寝ちゃってたわ。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is the perfect time for Eva Beato to kill Cross and Nazi. You're gonna go to wash your face. Oh, no! And in your blind spot, you're gonna come back and find them dead?
戻ってきたらまたコーヒーを入れるわね。特に濃い。明日の朝まで眠気が来なくなるようなやつを。
Extra strong coffee so that we don't get trust until tomorrow morning. That's nuts.
頼む。ゴーダの入れるコーヒーよりお前が入れるコーヒーの方が私の好みに合うからな。
Your coffee fits my taste more than the one Gora makes. Oof! Gora! Dead Gora, you're gonna let that take you. You're just gonna accept that, Gora. You've been dead for a while now, but that's crazy, yo.
お世辞でも嬉しいわ。 ぐ戻るわ。
I'll be back soon. I've exited the lobby, heading for the lavatory. Cross and Natsu watch over her fell back.
あなたもあれだけ犬猿の中だったエヴァさんに気を使うこともあるのですね。
So you do sometimes care for Eva even though you have always been so much at odds with her. I can say the same thing about you! It seems like you two are always arguing with each other since episode 1. You're trying to rub her back and everything, so you do care about for her too.
本来兄とはこういうものではないのか。
Simply speaking, isn't this what an older brother should do? Correct, that is absolutely what an older brother should do. I agree.
ええ、それで正しいと思います。
I believe it is. Watch, next line, Nazi, that's why I married you. Because, I'm joking.
エヴァに限らん。
Rudolph and Rosa too. Yeah, they died.
ルドルフにもローザにも。私がした兄らしいことといえば、それを王兵に語り、彼らをいじめただけだ。
The only ways in which I've acted like an older brother to them or to speak arrogantly and bully them.
父のようになりたくて、私なりに必死だった。だが、いつもそれは及ばず、そのはけ口を彼らに向けてしまった。しかし、それは言い訳にならん。
I always vented my feelings on them. However, that is no excuse.
エヴァにも、まだ傷が癒えぬほどに、深い心の傷を負わせてしまっただろう。悔いているが、今さらそれを詫びたところで、その傷が癒えるわけもない。
あなたがその気持ちを今だけでなく持ち続けることで、その気持ちはきっと他の兄弟たちにも伝わりますよ。
If you hold on to that emotion and continue to hold on to it, I'm sure that feeling will come through to your siblings.
今となっては、他の兄弟もエヴァを残すのみだがね。
I was gonna say, it's not like he has many siblings remaining. At this point, my only sibling left is Eva, exactly.
もしあなたとあなたのご兄弟が生まれた家が後ろ宮家でさえなかったなら、もっともっと普通な楽しい兄弟の関係であったでしょうに。
If only they were born into the Shuma family, you're saying they might have had a more normal, more fun sibling relationship.
それを言ってはならん。
You mustn't say that.
エヴァは生涯、私を憎み続けるだろう。そしてその資格がある。私は、それを甘んじて受け止めるつもりだ。
She has the right to hate me for her whole life. I intend to resign myself to that and accept it.
あなた。
Dear, あなた。
エヴァ、すまん。もちろん、許さなくていい。
Eva, I am sorry. Of course, you don't have to forgive me.
もちろん許さないわ。何を今さら。
Hello, Eva Beto.
悪いと思ったなら今すぐへそでも噛んで死んじゃえば。やっちゃえシエスタ姉妹。
Do it, Chester sisters! Alright, all that Greek text still. Oh!
射撃許可治療。射撃曲線再確認。飛行誤差修正。410データリンク。
Still the same Greek, the Greek wording. Still 97 point. What? 97.67% chance of hitting. Here's the Chester sisters. 410 and 45. 45 sending the data link to 410. Time to shoot. Boom, 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 boom.
410データ受領。射撃許可確認。
410. Data received. Firing permission confirmed.
射撃。
Firing! Let's go, Chester sisters! Rest in peace, Cross and Natsui. That's crazy. Together, the sisters released the ready magic bowstring. A beautiful tail trailed the golden arrow, and it drew a beautiful curve as it flew. It was just like a golden snake. I know if it goes. I was saying, like, the moment Eva left that to the lavatory, That's the moment to strike and kill Cross and Nazi. That was the moment. It skillfully avoided a grove of trees and flew towards the front door of the guest house. And then it flew into the keyhole of the door and stuck in the guest house without any problem at all. That's crazy. The gold snake raced down the hall smoothly, yet as fast as an arrow. Wow. Right in front of it was the door to the lobby. And it goes through. You would only need to fly into that keyhole and Cross and Nazi would be right there. For an instant, Cross thought he saw the door's keyhole sparkle gold. However, at the same time, he strained his eyes to see what it was. That sparkle bent like a whip and attacked. Wait. However, at the same time, he strained his eyes to see what it was. That sparkle bent like a whip and attacked, wrapping itself around Cross's neck. That's crazy. Rest in peace, Cross. And that's one death. Ugh. Off you go, Cross. Just looking at it, the gold snake looked very supple. However, it was as though a wire had tightened around Cross's neck. 1 second. So, with Nazi now, she's just looking at this. So it's not Nazi. She's just staring at this, probably in shock, right? And while that snake choked Cross, it extended even more and also tightened around Nazi's neck. That's crazy. And they're both dead. Without even the chance to scream, their eyes bulged as they went into convulsions and then collapsed. Those were quick deaths.
45命中および死亡確認
45! Hit and kill confirmed.
牽引曲線形成補正点修正
Forming towing curve. Correcting adjustment points.
410データリンク
Data link to 410. Alright, so Cross and Nuts are dead. I was gonna return to see her dead siblings and sibling-in-law. But first, I bet Eva Berto wants to play with their bodies before ending off this this Twilight business. Alright, so good to see Battler being another survivor for another episode. Congratulations, Battler, you survived for all this time.
410データ受領死体牽引開始
Initiating corpse towing.
2匹も釣れたに
Two on the line at once. Yeah, that's her voice is crazy. Bunny girls. Alright, the gold snake began to drag Cross and Nazi's corpses back. And slipped through the door to the corridor, dragging the corpses, gradually increasing in speed. And in the blink of an eye, it had pulled them outside the guest house. Alright, time to play with the corpses, right, Alberto? Revive and kill, revive and kill. So the lobby was still, as though nothing had happened at all. That's nuts. As though Cross and Nuts had never been there to begin with. Only the sound of the wind and rain remained, as though feigning ignorance and pretending that they had been the only ones there.
ごめんなさいもう大丈夫よ
Sorry, fine now. I've made the coffee. Huh? Where are you guys? Coffee?
今コーヒーを入れるわね
Now we'll go make some coffee. Oh, you haven't made the coffee yet. That's crazy. You slowpoke. Did I? Well, you didn't even make the coffee, and they still had enough time to die and to get dragged out. Eva returned from the lavatory, but no one was in the lobby. Even though they had been in that sofa until the very moment she had choked and gone to the lavatory, they had now gone as if they had been an illusion from the beginning.
不用心ね二人揃ってどこに行っちゃったの
Where did those two go off together? How careless. Like she was pretending to be in a detective novel, Eva put her hand on the sofa. She felt a warmth indicating that they had been sitting there until a short while ago. Maybe they had gone to do the rounds or something. For the time being, Eva sat down and waited for their return. Eva, come on now. Surely you know your other self is doing this. Is in charge of this. Maybe not. Alright, Beato and George again. Beato and George could be seen in the parlor of the mansion. Finally, they found Shannon. George was kneeling near Shannon's body as though praying. His face was sincerity itself, and there was even sweat on his forehead. However, Beato was the same. Now that she had handed her name over, most of her previous power had been lost. Of course, she still had more than enough power to be called a witch, but compared to the past, it was a very faint thing.
いいぞ、声をかける。手で心の声で呼べ。心の手で求め。そなたの強き思いだけ。シャノンの失われた魂。わらわの魔法を届かせ。
Only your strong feelings can make my magic reach Shannon's lost soul. George maintained a single-minded focus. He kept frantically yelling inside his heart, trying to call back the soul of the person he loved. Focus! He strongly envisioned his soul leaving his body and searching for her as she wandered through hell. Beato turned that strong force into magical power, supplementing her own magic. It was magic that, in the past, she could have performed easily, without anyone's help. But now, if she didn't rely on someone's help, she wouldn't be able to finish the chant, much less succeed. Forgotten after several hundred years. Was magic, was resurrection, always this difficult of a magic? An even more strange expression than George's had risen to Beato's face. She was still forgetting this, but the magic to revive a life is fundamentally the ultimate hidden art. It was her previous magical power, giving her the ability to use that magic over and over with a snap of her fingers, that was abnormal. Therefore, the heavy burden to her body and mind was, by rights, absolutely to be expected. Even though he doesn't know magic. I see. So he truly is Kinzo's grandchild. The strong power pouring from George was even large enough to pass as magical power. At first, Beato thought it was due to the blood of the mage Kinzo. However, that was probably wrong. She had a feeling that Battler had taught her that. George's power to feel sorrow for the death of his loved one arose from the way he had tried his hardest throughout his life, from the warm time spent together with Shannon, and from the size of their shared dream, promising each other their future. Their futures. Do humans really live this seriously during their one single life? Of course they do. To her, a life didn't mean anything more than the difference between the top and bottom of an Othello piece. I don't know what an Othello piece is. Okay, let's Google Othello real quick. Othello. A book by William Shakespeare? What? Oh, it's a freaking game board. I see. I guess it's popular in Japan because I saw it in Ahara and Sun. What the frick? Wait. I saw something crazy right there. Wait 1 second, y'all. Did you see? Why? Okay, so what I see is a white guy doing blackface. Why? I'm gonna ignore that. That's weird as hell. Alright, let's keep going. If the black represented death, then she thought all you had to do was flip it over again and make it white. However, it was just like that broken vase. To humans in a world without magic, they can never return to its original form. It is very, very natural for them to bet all their body and soul on that single life. So there are times when an endless switch, with full command over even life and death, is inferior to a finite human for whom even death's mountain is impossible to cross. Now, the witch acknowledged it. He was able to hold a magical power that could not reside in witches who didn't understand the value of life. Acts. What is this thing called the Endless Magic for again? Even though I call myself the Endless Witch, have I been forgetting what the Endless Magic means? For a whole 1,000 years? She looked at George's expression again. His surging earnestness was like a lightning bolt. Right now, even if George's body was burned or smashed by a waterfall, he would probably continue to pray for his beloved without minding it, without noticing it. For the first time, she showed respect for that power. So in that instant, all magical resistance was lost, and the enormous power of George's feelings turned into magical power in its perfect form. End of a daydream. The vase was very, very beautiful, rich with history and value. Even as young as I was, it still forced me to take a deep breath when I witnessed its beauty. But that just made me want to touch it. But the vase easily fell and smashed into smithereens, like a popped bubble. It felt as though the time when it had possessed a form was just an illusion. It was that fragile, that easily lost, that life. I realized that, because of my own foolish curiosity, I had done something that couldn't be taken back. No matter how much I regretted it, no matter how much I apologized, the broken vase did not return to its original form. A lost life will not return to normal no matter what happens. I was frightened by the fact that my own frivolous action, even though it had been frivolous, had stolen a life that could never be revived again. And, out of pity for the lost life, I cried. Out of fear of myself, who had made it become lost, I cried even more. I was sure that grandfather would also cry at the loss of his precious face. Grandfather! Subeto also had a grandfather. Does she have this Maria Kinzo relationship too? Right? Because Maria's supposed to be her apprentice. So maybe she's like Maria and then Kinzo exists and then she has her own grandfather who's another Kinzo. Maybe his name is something else. And I guess he's also some ruler of a mansion. I was sure that all the people who thought fondly of grandfather would cry too when they saw him like that. By just the loss of a single life, the whole world would be filled with so much sadness. I cried even more at how terrible that would be. That's when Virgilia appears. Beatrice appeared and spoke. Virgilia! Beauto!
ならばお嬢様、この壺を魔法で蘇らせましょう。それで皆が幸せになれるなら、壺も魔法も精霊たちも喜んでそのために力を貸し、元の姿を取り戻すでしょう。さあさあ、お嬢様、目を閉じて私と一緒にお歌を歌いましょう。
さあさあ。
さあさあ、目を閉じてごらんなさい。
Try closing your eyes.
そして思い出してごらんなさい。
Try to remember.
あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。
What form did you have?
それはきっととてもとても美しい姿。どうか私にあの姿をもう一度見せておくれ。
Please show me that form one more time. Those words of power powerfully knocked on the door to Hades. Soul of Soul. This is what this soundtrack is. Interesting. Her previous magic had powerfully knocked on the door to Hades in the same way. However, back then, it was horribly violent and earned the displeasure of the peacefully sleeping dead. However, this time it was different. It was very powerful, but it was very kind and loving. Whoa! What is this place? The dead near the door opened their eyes and called out to the other dead that there was a voice calling for someone to come back. Huh. Interesting. What is this place? What is that forest? Is this Hades? The door to Hades? This mysterious forest? The sadness of that voice calling from the outside touched the hearts of the dead. And trying to respond as quickly as possible, they searched for Shannon's lost soul. And then, they found it. They found the casket in which Shannon was peacefully sleeping. It truly was Shannon's soul, sleeping in the land of the dead. Inside a casket that was covered with rose petals, frozen with frost, she was sleeping in peace. The dead silently lifted that casket up. While it looked like a funeral march at a glance, it had the complete opposite meaning. Yeah, it's the opposite. We're gonna revive someone, we're not gonna send someone to their death. It was solemn, but filled with joy. It reminded the long-forgotten dead that they continue to be loved even after their deaths, and gave them all a warm sense of peace. Then, as though guided by a warm light from the heavens, Shannon's body floated up out of the casket. The dead watched her go. They squinted at that warm light, giving their respect to this unknown member of the living who had continued to hold on to his love for a person even after her death. Holy crap. Shannon's body was sucked into the light in the heavens and began to disappear. In the jet black darkness of the land of the dead, the faint flickering of gold butterflies could be seen. It reminded them of the gentle stars in the night sky, which they had long forgotten. George remembered being told that he must not say anything, and he hurriedly covered his mouth. However, it felt like his heart was trying to jump out of his throat, because he had seen Shannon's eyelids shake slightly. And then, those eyelids slowly opened. Shannon's eyes were there, but they were still covered in the frost of the land of the dead. However, the warmth of the human world, no. The warmth of her loved one, who had called her soul back, slowly dissolved that frost, and her eyes gradually regained their sparkle. Then her eyes moved and recognized George. She's back! I could cry at this. This is actually tragic. I mean, super happy, but sad to see. Okay, as her lips shook weakly, Shannon definitely said that. The words were very faint, so much so that they normally wouldn't even have reached his ears. However, George clearly heard them. He heard his loved one, his fiancée, the one he loved the most, who should have been dead, call his name once again.
Shannon, 僕がわかるかい?
Can you recognize me, Shannon?
ジョージさん、これは夢なの?
George, is this a dream?
いや、これは夢じゃないよ。だからほら、つねっても覚めないよ。
This isn't a dream. See, look, even if I pinch you, you don't wake up. As George said that, he softly pinched Shannon's cheek. It was how George had always responded in the past, when Shannon had been surprised by something and had asked if she was dreaming. When Shannon felt the warm touch of George's finger on her cheek, and when George realized that the warmth of a living person had already returned to the cheek of his beloved. They both cried. With what words should a pair of lovers separated by death celebrate their reunion? The words of the human world are not enough to celebrate that. In short, they had no need of the words of this world. Shannon sat up, and the two of them simply wordlessly hugged each other. Shannon still didn't have much strength in her, and putting her arms around George's back took all she had. So George hugged her tightly to make up for that. To stop her from ever again going to a place beyond his reach, he hugged her so tightly and yet so gently. Shannon's fingers curled around George's back, and on her ring finger indeed shone the engagement ring George had given her. That strong sparkle was absolutely not the sparkle for diamond alone. There was, without a doubt, a magical power there that only the two lovers could possibly feel. It was because that strong light existed that they had been able to find her casket in the land of the dead. Beato understood. That ring, no. The couple's feelings in the form of that ring had created this miracle. In that moment, George had definitely used magic. Beato had done nothing more than help him along. That magic had a magical power that could only reside in those who knew of the importance of life and tried their hardest. It was the power of a miracle that an endless witch could not know, that only the power of the finite could give rise to. By now, she had no choice but to accept it. She had to accept that true magic, true magical power, existed in the place farthest away from she who calls herself a great witch.
ベアトリーチェ様。
Beatrice様。
彼女が君を生き返らせてくれたんだ。ありがとう、ベアトリーチェ。
Thank you, Beatrice.
いいや
No, I'm not Beatrice anymore.
わらわは何もできなかった。シャノンをよみがえらせたのはそなたの魔力、そなたの魔法、奇跡を成し遂げる後宮の地。確かに見届けさせてもらったぞ。
I have indeed witnessed here the Ishurme blood, capable of achieving miracles.
ジョージさんが私を。
George was the one who brought?
わらわなど足元にも及ばぬほどの凄まじき魔力であったぞ。わらわなどまだまだ見習いの域を出ぬか。今こそ身の程を知ろうぞ。
So I still have not left the level of apprentice then. Now I finally know my place. Beato staggered backwards. Her physical strength was clearly exhausted. She had humbly said that George's power alone had revived Shannon, but Beato had also used all of her magical and physical strength. And she reflected upon how difficult it was to revive a single one of these lives, which she had toyed with however she wanted in the past. The couple kept each other in their tight embrace and showed no signs of letting go. Feelings that couldn't be communicated with a billion words were thus communicated between them.
ありがとう、ベアトリーチェ。君は僕たちの恩人だ。
We are in your debt.
ありがとうございます、ベアトリーチェ様。再びジョージ様に会わせてくださったこのご恩を決して忘れません。
I will never forget that it was you who let me meet with George again. Now, remember the time when, remember earlier on this episode, the way Shadow and Beato were talking to each other? And now look at them now. Look at how the relationship is so different now. That's crazy.
よせよせ。愛し合う二人に感謝されては、外道の極みと恐れられたわらわには、くすぐったすぎるというものよ。わらわのことは気にするな。存分に再会を。
Take all the time you want, celebrating your reunion together. Beato, who was leaning her back against the wall, slid down the wall and sat. How many centuries had it been since she had last grown this tired from using magic? Probably not since the time I first succeeded in magic. Didn't Master praise me for that back then? Oh, but I myself killed that Master who praises me, didn't I? Yes, you did. Don't be naive, Beatrice. In the end, that's what it means to kill something, right?
ようやく 魔法の使い方を思い出したようですね。
Seems you remembered how to use magic.
頭ん中酸欠でカラッカラで思い出すもヘチマもねえぜ。それよりあんた殺したじゃねえかよ。現れるんじゃねえよ。
You shouldn't be appearing. Didn't I kill you?
あなたが未だに私を生かしていますよ。だからこうして現れられます。もっともあなたの頭を撫でに来たわけでもありませんが。
You've let me live until now. That is why I can appear like this. However, I did not come here to pat you on the head.
無様なわらわをわざわざ嘲笑いに来たかよ。
Now, see, we're not like you, your past self. We're better than that. Okay? We don't laugh at others for actually being good people. Alright? We don't laugh at others, and yeah, you get the point. I could keep going, but you get the point.
それに隠居までした魔女が今さら頭なんか撫でられちゃ他の魔女の笑い物だぜ。
After all this time, after retiring as a witch and everything, if I sit here and have my head patted, I'll be laughing stock of the other witches.
そうですね。一人前どころか現役を退いたと豪語するあなたなのに、今頃になって魔法の使い方を覚えたなど恥ずかしくて誰にも言えませんね。
It would be embarrassing to tell anyone that you only just now learned how to use magic. Yeah, that's crazy.
内緒にしてくれよ、お師匠様。
Keep it a secret, master. With a sense of pleasant despondency, Beato gazed at the couple hugging each other. So Beato's let Virgilia live. Love, huh? I'm no match. Hey Beato, maybe one day you can fall in love and you'll see it yourself. You'll see the power, the magical power that comes with it.
45データ治療
What the frick? No! No! Eva Beato, no!
射撃準備完了
No! 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 Stop! 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 Stop this! Stop this now! Stop this! No! 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 She has the sisters! Stop! 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 Change! No! No Nihi! No Nihi! Bihi! Bati! Bati! Stop this! No! 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 The golden serpentine hour fighted by the jesters! No! Weaved its way through the bushes in the rose garden! No! 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 Not to the bushes! Weaved its way through the hedges! No! Stop! And climbed the stone steps through the hedges entrance! No! 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 Aiming for the keyhole! Stop! 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 It waved through the corridors! I can't handle it! Why is describing it in such detail? I already know what's gonna happen! Stop it! I flew into the keyhole in the door to the parlor! Stop it! No! No! Beato, no! It happened in an instant! It would have been difficult for Beato, who was completely worn out, to have noticed it beforehand. No! No, Shannon! Right before Beato's eyes, the gold snake that flew in through the keyhole spun circles around the two lovers and pierced through their two hearts in a blink of an eye! Ah! No! 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 Ah! And with meticulous precision, the gold snake ran through that hole in Shannon's chest once more! Again! You're doing that to her again! The two had been pierced through the heart by the gold snake. No, by the gold sewing thread used by the new brutal witch's furniture. And it had only taken an instant, so unfitting for the amount of effort it had taken to revive Shannon! So easily! No! we can take solace in the fact that they managed to reunite. I think George said that. George did say that you know, he was super glad to reunite with like he would do anything to reunite with Shannon one more time. I think George died without any regret. I think George and Shannon have now died without any regrets at the very least. But Eva Beato, you're a piece of crap. Okay, I'll wait for that. I'll wait to talk about that. In front of Beato's shock dice, the two collapse onto the floor.
George. Shannon.
George. Shannon.
ありがとう、ベアトリーチェ。わずかの間でも会わせてくれてありがとう。
For letting us meet even just for a short while, thank you. So he's still alive, he's still able to talk for a bit before dying. George spent his last breath thanking Beato and died side by side with the one he loved. So wait a minute. George isn't even part of any of these Twilights. She's just killed him for no reason, by the way. Shannon, yeah, sure, but George is not part of it at all. She's already killed Cross and Nazi. They were supposed to be the last Twilights. George's death is unnecessary. You've just killed your other version's son. Unnecessary. The gold snake, which still sued the two in place, spun like a large cyclone, revolving around the inside of the parlor. He was searching for further kills in that room. Are you gonna kill Berto as well? No way. I mean, she is very exhausted. Then, the tip of the snake met Berto's gaze. In that instant, Berto prepared herself for death. Wait, is Berto gonna die too? That's weird. Oh, just then, Vergila stood in front of her, the fingers of both her hands drawing a mark. What? Protection? Oh, she saved her. Okay. In that instant, gold-colored gold leaf buried the inside of the parlor. It was like a blizzard of gold.
ベアト、今のうちに逃げて。シエスタの黄金球からは誰も逃れられない。
Be able to escape all you can. No one can escape from the Chester's golden bow. I mean, it's not. It's a 97 point something percent accuracy shot. So to say no one can escape is kind of wrong. There's still like a 2+% chance of survival. Yeah, magical chaff. 410 target lost. 45 understood. Modifying enemy search. Personal image homing algorithm. Target acquired. Data linked to 410. 410 data received. Dislonie, predecessor sama. Impact. Wait, what is this? One Piece? Impact tile? What is this? I'm joking. That's rough. So Beto's dead now? The Chester Sisters' golden bow would not let its kill escape. He would not let them block it. No magical barrier could even dream of blocking it without being multi-layered. The weak point during the instant of confusion caused by Virgil's deception magic was Beto's only chance to escape. And the only opportunity to make the sisters confuse Virgilia for Beto. As Virgilia spread her arms wide, blocking the way to her beloved disciple, the gold snake pierced straight through the location of her heart. Rest in peace, Buto. That's my Buto that died right there. The snake, which had snuck in through the keyhole, shot through George and Shannon, and then shot through Virgilia in an instant, completely failed to notice as Beto escaped. Well, at least Beto survived, hopefully. I say at least Beto survived, as if, yeah. Alright. As soon as Virgilia saw that Beto had gotten away, she expired. Target neutralized. That's Buto gone. The strength left her body, and like gold dust drifting with the wind, her form was erased. Beato completely erased all traces of her magical power, became gold butterflies and passed through the wall, escaping to the wind and rain outside. Now you know what it feels like! Beto! Now you know what it feels like! Now you know what it feels like, goddammit! Alright? Now you know! Man! Oh! Now she knows, man! This is what it's like to lose a loved one! Beto felt sick from the bottom of her heart. Now you know what it feels like when an evil freaking witch ruthlessly kills people for fun! And you're on the victim side of it. Why? Because she had been attacked by the new witch? No, of course not. Probably not. Of course, she also felt sick over the loss of her master. But even more than that, Beto's enraged at the barbarism which had boorishly stolen the union between the two reunited lovers. Beto had poured out almost all of her magical power to unite them. That miracle had been achieved only as a result of all that, yet it had taken such a short time to steal it away! Beto trembled at the barbarous cruelty which had ended it so fast. And it was also the true form of the acts she herself had committed up until that point. That's what I mean! So just as strongly as Beto hated the new witch, she looked at her previous self with disgust. But now she had to escape. If she was targeted next, she would probably lose her life. And it wouldn't even be funny if the chess player, descended like a god, ended up being attacked and killed by the pieces. Fair enough. Escape, chess player.
45着弾確認標的資産間違いなく先代様を撃破しました
Without a doubt, we crushed the predecessor.
また私たちの撃墜気象が増えちまうね
Nyeh.
にひ
Nyeh. Our pile of kill medals is gonna get bigger yet again.
愛し合う二人なんだって
The candle stands.
引き裂いて一度合わせて二度もう一度引き裂いて三度楽しめるだっけ
Once they're two apart, once they're and once they're apart again. What was that about loving couples? You get to enjoy them thrice, once tearing the two apart, once uniting them, and once tearing them tearing them apart again, right? Is that what the second Twilight means? You know? Kill the two who are close?
そのついでにあのクソうるさいババアまでさよならできて最高にご機嫌よ
Damn!
ロノウェ文句ないわよね
Run of it! You don't have any complaints, right?
ございません
Of course not!
ベアトリーチェ様
Beatrice様.
あいつは魔女の碑文の儀式を妨害したのよ第一の番の生贄を勝手に蘇らせて私の儀式を妨害したわ文句言われる筋合いなんかなんにもないわよ
She interfered with the ritual of the witch's epitaph, you see? No one has any right to at all to complain.
しかしずるいなあいつは死体を残さないのねあのババアが思いっきり何度も無限にいじめ殺して遊んでやろうと思ったのに
You're even thinking of torturing your own master? Is this a glass break now or something? Glass break, maybe? Not yet, okay. But that probably will be the end of this part though. Let's see. Let's see. We're back in the guest house.
ジョージが来てないわよいつ降りたのよ
George did? He didn't show up. When did he come down? Who's she talking to? George? Oh right, she must be talking to the cousins, because George was in the cousin's room, and then he left. He left the cousin's room because he was supposed to go down to the lobby, right? Or something like that. Why did he leave the cousin's? What was no? Why did he tell the others that he was gonna leave the cousin's room again? I forgot. I mean, I guess we'll see next time. But I'm gonna end this here. So you guys might be wondering, after all this, what do I think? What do I think after all of this has happened? So for one thing, I think it's kind of obvious by this point that I have a newfound respect for Beato, right? I evidently, I don't forgive her previous actions, and I still view them with disgust, but she herself views her previous self in disgust. Does that make sense? And so, seeing that, I have gained a newfound, respect for her. That's one thing, okay? Do I forgive her past actions? No. Will I ever forgive her for those? No. Is she completely redeemable? That's up to you. How are you going to redeem a person? That's up to you. I mean, she used all of her power, and she finally knows what it feels like. So I think at this point, I'll stop haggling her. Now, your second question might be, Amin, what do you think of Eva Beato? And honestly, while this may be unfair to Beato, I'll say this. I'm done hating on witches. I'm done. Alright? Like, if Eva Beato decides to torture Battler or the lovers or whatever, I'm done hating on these witches. Alright? Like, they're all just crazy children that don't know any better, that have gained too much power for their own good, too much greed for their own good, and I'm done. This might be unfair for Beato, considering how much I hate on her, but yeah, I'm kinda done. I don't hate Eva Beato. I just pity her at this point. No, genuinely, I just feel bad for her. She's just an idiot, right? She's just there to mirror how Beato used to be, and so, yeah. But Beato herself, I do have a newfound respect for her, and of course I always loved Beato and Virgilia. I've always loved her, so she's good. And yeah, I think I'm finally ready to accept Beato as my opponent once again. But the way this entire game between me and Beato started, this entire pretense, this entire game, the way it all started makes me wonder how the game's going to continue now that Beato's had this change of heart. I don't know. But yeah, those are my honest opinions. I might be kind of dumb because I forgot why George left the George left. But I mean, he left for a reason, I'm sure, right? Let's see. Let's see. I'm seeing Okay, I found it, y'all. Right, okay, so, yeah, okay. I checked my own video, and, yeah, George left because he wanted another cup of coffee. Both Jessica and Batter said no. Nanjo, he went over to Nanjo, also said no, and then that's when he met Beato. Okay, we get it. But yeah, alright, I hope you guys have enjoyed this part of Umineko When They Cry. I'll see you guys next time for hopefully the end of this chapter at the very least. Let's try to end this chapter next time, and then see where things go from there. Yeah. If you guys enjoyed, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed reading it. It's fun to see character development as always. And yeah, see you guys next time. Alright, y'all. Peace.